on the count of podcast.
God passed.
All right, shall we wait then for you to do it right, or?
Sorry,
Start
I just
again.
had a stroke. I'm sorry. Podcast.
Hey, there it is. Welcome to the I Hate Critics 1993 podcast. I am professional film critic Sean Patrick. With me is Amy.
Hello.
And MJ.
Hello.
Amy has started the Facebook page.
I did. I'm excited about it. And don't forget that our podcast is brought to you by Fiero. The only car that child support will allow you to afford. Fiero, proud unofficial sponsor of the podcast.
Thank you to the folks at Fiero. By that I mean Brandon at the gas station.
Brandon at the gas station.
He drives his Fiero to work every day.
That's right. And we actually posted it on here that it's Fiero, the car your older cousin Tad drove in 1985. Tad. It's like the 80th name I've ever heard.
There should have been a Tad in this movie.
I was going to say, maybe we should actually change it to like a Saturn, because wasn't that more of a 90s car? And
I prefer Fiero.
You want a Fiero? Okay.
I always wanted one when I was a kid.
Why?
Because they're cool.
Was it the... Don't ever say that again. Is it because the lights pop up in the front?
Yeah.
And there's a spoiler on the back?
Yeah.
Spoilers. We watched Judgment Night.
Judgment Night, 1993.
Yes.
Oh, what a movie.
Your favorite movie so far.
What a movie.
MJ, you want to take us through the plot?
You just want to talk about the movie the entire time.
This lovely group of 4 dudes tried to go to a wrestling, or no, it wasn't
Boxing.
a boxing match,
Yeah.
but they got caught in some Chicago traffic in a giant caravan
That had 3 TVs.
Yes, 3 TVs and a lot of alcohol.
2 of them only this driver could see, which is kind of a choice.
I thought that was... Just in case you get bored of driving.
Yeah.
Just watch TV.
Also had Duck Hunt.
Oh, it did have Duck Hunt, though. Man, that's old school Nintendo. I wanted this movie
Was
just
that the
for
only
that.
game that used the gun?
Yeah.
Was Duck Hunt? Or were there other games? I don't remember well enough to know if other games used the gun or not.
Because I think we unplugged it and used it on each other, like we were going to try and shoot each other.
Bang, bang.
Bang, bang.
Or as they call them on TikTok, pew pew.
It's funny, I just did that in the bathroom. Yeah, what a nightmare this movie was. And
Yeah.
again, I should say, this was my idea only because the soundtrack fucking slaps, and that's it. That's it.
Although it's
It
not
does.
in the movie.
They only use like 4 songs from the CD, but whatever.
Literally, if you look up Judgment Night online, the first thing that comes up is the soundtrack. You have to like take an extra step to open up any information about the movie.
Which I think is appropriate.
Yeah.
Because this movie is a fucking nightmare.
It stars Emilio Estevez as Francis.
Don't call him Francis.
No, I don't call him Francis.
Don't call him Francis.
Don't call him that.
Not Francis.
Frank. He's Frank, along with everybody else's name. I don't know. The only reason I know Francis is because because Denis Leary says his name a bunch of times.
But what about Razor?
Razor.
The old Ray Man.
The Razor. Ray Cochran.
Ray Cochran. Appropriate name for Jeremy Piven's character in this movie.
Then Cuba Gooding Jr. was Mike.
Yeah, he was. I heard that a few times.
I think I made fun of him.
What, because of his vest?
I think I said his name as a joke was Mike.
Oh, really? And it actually is Mike Peterson?
His name was actually Mike.
Yeah, it is. His last name is Peterson. You know how I know? Because I went to Wikipedia and did my research before this.
Now, was Stephen Dorff, when he rolled up, was he driving a Fiero?
He may have been.
I didn't take
It
notice
was
of it,
yellow.
but yeah.
I think it was like a yellow
It was
Fiero.
a tiny car. Stephen
Brought to you by-
Dorff plays Frank's brother, John.
Yeah, John Boy.
So the Jeremy Piven is their jerk friend who shows up with a giant bus to take them to. It's like the battle van from Stripes.
Oh, yeah. It is like the battle van. It's also like the van from Angel's Revenge, if anyone's ever seen that. But there's no turn gun in it. Turn gun? There's no turn gun. But, yeah, mean, this thing. I mean, it was kitted out. That van, like,
Yeah.
I mean, leather seats
We had a van
that had a TV in
when
it.
I was a kid. There was a van that had an Atari in the back.
That was, and
I played that.
we did play it quite often. It also had curtains on it that I would take the curtain holders off and put them on my wrists like they were wristbands. Oh, I miss that van.
Fashion icon.
Oh, they were velour, so obviously.
Oh, wow.
I was styling and profiling, as they say in the 90s.
Were you Ric Flair?
None of your business who I am. Yeah, Jeremy Piven. Again, this is pre-plugged Jeremy Piven. So that bitch is losing his hair in this movie.
Yeah, in case you didn't realize.
I'm-
Now it's been a while since he got canceled, so I'm not sure anybody even knows who he is anymore.
I would recommend watching PCU before
No,
watching
do
Judgment
not.
Night.
Don't watch
Watch
PCU.
PCU.
Don't.
It's gonna piss you off
Oh my
if
god.
you watch PCU.
There's just no way that movie holds up. Like, I can remember liking that as a kid, and like,
yeah.
there's no way that movie holds up.
No, because remember in the movie they called feminists feminazis.
Oh god.
And I used to think that was funny, like in my 20s.
So edgy. So edgy.
I went ahead and added myself to the cunt list for that, and I added Jeremy Piven. So we're
Yeah.
on here.
What was it? Sexual harassment that he did?
I think it was just
He
his
sexually
face
harassed
harassing all of us.
Just for being super obnoxious.
Good Christ! You know what? That was the whole, like, the beginning of this movie starts off just innocently enough. It's Emilio Estevez, his hot wife, and their baby just talking on the
Arguing.
front porch. Yeah,
Arguing at the front porch
On the
because
front
he's
porch.
like leaving his pregnant wife, or leaving the mother of his child for the first time in 2 months. And
Well, because
like-
he hasn't had a break.
do these people?
Hasn't had a
Men go
break.
see boxing. Women stay home, watch baby. Because I did love her line. She goes, "Oh, it sounds like you haven't had a break as long as I haven't. Interesting." That was actually a good line.
You might want to mention those 9 months prior to that too.
Exactly. Lugging around your spawn in my stomach all fucking 9 months. Emilio. I'm sorry, Francis.
I mean, he needs a night off.
He needs
Clearly,
he needs a night with the guys.
he's got to take a night off.
Sausage party.
But you know
Game
what
on.
should never happen is the couple should never be apart for any reason.
No.
They should never.
Isn't that like like that's a law in marriage? Is that you have to be next to each other the entire time?
That and after 20 years you call each other mom and dad.
Oh my god,
Oh,
no! I thought we talked about that.
no, thank you.
Our grandparents did that. Soup and Papa did that. It's like,
Ah,
hey mom, I'll have some more potatoes.
no,
No,
no.
your mom's not here, dude. No.
This is definitely a couple though that's exchanging those memes about the ball and chain.
Oh, just want a night out with the dudes. That's all I want. You're a woman. I mean, you could do a woman's night once a month, maybe, right? Once a year. But you've
What if
got
you
to
so
raise
much
the
as look at another man?
She's flirting with Terry from accounting.
Oh,
No,
Terry.
Terry from accounting. Oh,
Not gender neutral Terry either. They're
No. no. TRRY. You don't know. You don't know. Terry from accounting. That'd be kind of hot. Like we're thinking like Terry Hatcher from accounting.
There you go.
There you go. Yeah, there you go. Anyway, yeah, so Jeremy Piven's horrible in this movie. And so, like I said, we start off with this innocent enough exchange between this couple and their dumb baby. I don't know why I called the baby dumb.
Yeah, what was that
I
about?
think you just hate
I
babies.
just hate babies. That's true. Unless I'm related to them, I don't care. But then all of a sudden, yeah, Jeremy Piven rolls up in this caravan and Cuba Gooding Jr. shows up and everybody's just screaming and talking over each other. It was the most anxious 30 minutes we endured.
Don't worry, we'll get it home at 8 a.m.
Oh, God. And we never actually...
I never understood that. Like,
Yeah.
the whole thing about, like, we're going to get him home by 8 a.m. Like, the whole, like, bachelor party culture, I've never understood.
Because,
like-
what, they have to get pussy before they get married?
Like,
It's like, that's the last person you're going to sleep with. I'm like, I'm sorry, you've never been introduced to non-monogamy kind of a relationship.
Why do they all make that same joke, though?
Because
what is that about?
It's so boomery. You know? It is, right? Women, am I right? You know?
No, I'm asking.
Am I right? What is it, Sinbad? Like, I always think of the comedian Sinbad. He's like, what does he say? Like, ladies, am I right? And he's referencing ladies, like, God, these dumb girls, these dumb fucking idiot girls. That's a 90s, 80s, 90s trope, too.
Yeah.
So.
And those people all gave birth to men's rights podcasters.
Isn't it interesting? Hey, Sinbad, your mom was a lady, we think. Am I right? A-M-I-R-I-T-E. Am I right? Am I right?
It sounds like that'd be a great premise for like a Tim Heidecker experimental comedy where he just goes, ladies,
am I right?
Am I right? Am I right? Ladies?
I love that. And then spaghetti comes out of the trees. Spooked ya. Anyway, back to the dumb movie.
Yeah.
So
they're taking this giant thing into the city, which, first of all, you're driving in Chicago. The last thing you want is a giant vehicle.
That's true.
Like, that is not... I don't even want to go to Chicago under any circumstances, considering just not the violence, just the traffic. I just don't like driving in Chicago. I'm not a fan.
Here's the other thing about that, and this is important as somebody who used to go to Chicago all the freaking time for concerts. If you don't leave early enough, you're going to run into traffic. You can't tell me that they live in a suburb of Chicago and they don't fucking know that. Maybe we should leave about an hour early. Even from a suburb.
Literally. That's exactly what I was thinking the entire time. I'm like, dude, just leave earlier.
They're from there. I mean, you know.
You didn't expect that there was going to be traffic?
into downtown Chicago? That's adorable, you amateurs.
No, my buddy is in Chicago right now, seeing the Bears-Vikings game, and I imagine he left his house today by 6 a.m. to be there by 9 a.m.
Right?
Just to give him extra time to be there by 11 a.m. so they could be there for kickoff. Because that's how you roll into Chicago.
That's how you roll into Chicago. Correct.
And these are supposedly suburbanites who don't understand that. To the point where the fight that they're going to, the card, has already begun, and they're still, like, in traffic. Like...
Yes.
And they don't even think like, let's just leave the TVs on and just watch the fight here, and we'll get there if we get there, and if we don't, we'll just go to a bar and have a beer.
I mean, it seems so easy when you put it that way.
Well, if you're dealing with reasonable people. But of course, these aren't reasonable characters. So Jeremy Piven decides to back the car back to the exit that they passed already. By using the fire lane, which,
right.
You know, hopefully there's no accidents or anything, you know. I've seen people do that in Chicago, though. Like, they don't care.
They don't care.
That lane should not be...
Nope. No.
It shouldn't be full, but people use it. Motorcycle guys are the best in that. They'll just right around everybody.
So many crotch rockets in Chicago.
So they take an exit to the emptiest part of Chicago. You know, historically empty Chicago. There's parts of Chicago that everybody knows there's just nobody there, ever.
It's a... What is the word? It's a ghost town? That one part of Chicago that looks suspiciously like a soundstage in Vancouver. Yeah. Nobody's there. They take a wrong turn.
Mm-hmm.
Which again, we had a lot of theories. Like if this were like an animated thing, this would be very funny.
Yeah.
But of course, Piven, who is supposed to be kind of the leader, I guess, of this crew. He's the driver of the van. He's renting the van, or he's just to use it for the night.
He's apparently like used a scam to get this.
Right. Well,
like
it makes sense.
He scammed the guy into letting him have this giant thing and ride in. What do they call these? Mobile home?
Caravan.
Motorhome?
I think it's a caravan.
Is it a motorhome, maybe?
I think it's a caravan for the third fucking time.
I think they call it that in Europe, and you're not European.
Oh my God, it's a caravan. It's a caravan.
I don't think so.
And you know what? The reason why we're here, because we were once Europeans, you dickhead. So anyway, in the caravan...
It is called a motorhome. I'm literally looking at it.
I'm calling it a caravan.
It's a motorhome.
I'm calling it a caravan.
It's a $79,000 motorhome.
Do you want to finish my thought, please?
So he's stolen this essentially via scam. He says he said they got the guy at the dealership to give it to him for a night, so he could try it out and see if he wanted to give it to his employees, as if he's going to spend $80,000 on each of his sales employees to have their own mobile office.
You know, but let's be honest. Didn't his hairline imply that this was the kind of guy he was going to be? And also, the film implies that he's also a raging alcoholic and a gigantic pussy. So, yeah,
because they're literally like getting as drunk as possible while they're driving in this motorhome on their way to this fight in Chicago.
Right.
Where was this fight being held, right, by the way? Because, I mean, again, if you're going to the venues in Chicago, you just turn right off and you're there. There's no need to... If you try and find them the way they're trying to find them, you're never going to get there.
I know, I'm thinking like McCormick Place, maybe?
Yeah, maybe.
It would have to be kind of where they were, or it looked like where they were headed, but what do we know? Just dumb Midwesterners.
Whatever that green screen in the background was of where they were headed to cover up Vancouver.
And naturally, because they're all roided out white men, aside from Cuba Gooding Jr., they naturally all have major temper tantrums. Stephen
always
Dorff,
yelling things that are incredibly helpful.
These men are so loud, and it's you could say, that's like a typical Chicago guy. I don't know if that's true. I think these guys are just annoying.
Cuba Gooding Jr. and Jeremy Piven are arguing over like having a gun in the motorhome, and and then they're trying to figure out where to go, and then they hit a guy with their car, and Jeremy Piven, of course, being the ethical guy that he is, he just wants to keep going. Let's keep driving. But ethical. they won't let him.
Would have been a lot better for him if they had just right.
Oh my God! Yes.
The rest of it wouldn't have happened, and we wouldn't have had to watch it.
They get out. They find the guy that they hit. They drag him back into the motorhome, and then they go chasing after a cop.
Right?
Yeah.
Why don't you go chase after a hospital? How about that? That'd be an idea.
Hospitals stay still.
How about this? You don't get off in a neighborhood you don't know where you're going in. I mean, that seems like a good idea to start with.
That reminds me of that review that I was just reading about this movie. Because I think they said something very similar to what you just said.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm just saying.
Better overall because, it doesn't have cops right away.
Right.
Cops are not going to help you right away. They're going to try to neutralize a threat right away.
Right. That's where, the cops aren't stopping for you chasing them.
No.
Exactly.
He's on his way to an emergency. I know you have an emergency, but he's on his way to one, so you might want to find a different way to go.
Maybe.
But then they had no idea where they were, so it didn't matter what they did.
Again, none of that. They had to be from, Moline.
Famed Chicago suburb.
Right.
Moline.
Exactly. Because it's like, if you can't be fucked to know where you're going in Chicago. Don't go to Chicago. And I'm sorry, even us, Iowans right here on the river know that you don't go into certain parts of Chicago. It's just how it's always been. If you don't want to die, don't go this way. If you don't want to die, go that way. My God, if we know that, then why don't these idiots that actually live in Illinois not know that?
But you've described why they made this movie is this, this paranoid fantasy of what it's like down there. And I know that there are violent areas of Chicago. I understand. Mm-hmm. But a lot of this is just intimidating people. A lot 100%. Of this is just, trying to pretend that it's a lot of media spin in many ways. And I can hear you bros out there going, Well, let's take you to downtown Chicago, drop you off, and see how you do.
God, people used to say that to us all the time. Like,
Uh.
why would you even use that as a threat?
Yeah.
I'm not getting into a car with you, let alone
I'm
sitting
not
there
gonna
for 3
go
hours.
anywhere with you.
Yeah, I'm just like, I'm gonna sit and wait while you take me somewhere dangerous. How about that?
Exactly.
Well, proves my point that I'm right. Good one, Cletus.
Thanks, Cletus. Yeah,
but that's the kind of the premise of the film, is people being scared of urban areas.
well, yeah, and the like they described in that one or one review where she was just like, it just this paranoia of these areas, which, by the way, as we're thinking of it too, this film, as empty as it is, my God, do they have a lot of superstores there.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
I'm just gonna say, for an empty part of Chicago, which, by the way, does not exist, there are a lot of superstores there.
They get hit by a car after they've picked up the guy who also happens to have been shot and is carrying blood money, literal money covered in blood.
But yeah, so poetic.
They're chasing down the cop, and then suddenly they just get hit by a car, and they can no longer control their vehicle, which they drive into an alley to the point where the motorhome just gets stuck between two buildings.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The bad guys come in, they break out the back window, they drag the guy who was shot out, and then they shoot him again. This time to make sure he's dead, I guess.
But, they don't think to bring out the other guys that are witnesses to this crime yet.
Yeah.
Right.
So they get the chance
they
to
want to do their business, Yeah, why did they just grab everybody? Like, everybody out now. Come on. Everybody out this back. Come on.
Like, let their boss decide out here what they're going to do with them instead of giving them the opportunity to, go out the other side.
Their boss, Fallon.
Fallon.
That sounds like
high
a
school
6th grader
girls.
now.
Fallon?
Yeah.
Fallon was on Dynasty, and Jimmy Fallon is on shitty TV.
This movie is the Jimmy Fallon of action movies.
I want that for this film. That's great. That's great.
It's kind of there and pleasant, but not really very entertaining.
No.
You don't want to hate him, but you don't really want to watch him do comedy either.
No. God, Remember when I used to talk about beige music in Matchbox 20? That's Jimmy Fallon.
Oh, so beige.
So beige. Like that really kind of crunchy khaki. Those bugle boys that you had to wear in 1984.
Oh, wow.
That's Jimmy Fallon beige.
Mm.
It's true. It's not. That's an easy joke to make, but it's true.
It is true, though. It hits.
It hits.
It hits.
But thankfully he wasn't in this movie.
No. He would have been a great Jeremy Piven.
He would have laughed at his lines all the way throughout the movie because he can't get through anything without laughing.
It's just
saying,
Jimmy, this is a movie. This is not a live skit. It's a movie. Are you?
Anyway, I feel bad because I am one of those. I like Emilio Estevez, and I feel bad that he's in this movie and that he's in this movie.
Do you feel bad that he was the 6th choice for the lead role of this movie?
I love your fucking trivia. I need to know who.
6th choice.
Yeah.
He was so far down the list of actors that they wanted for this. Everybody kept passing on it to the point where they went, okay, we got to go to Emilio. Emilio is the only one. He's available. And he goes, all right, I'll do it for $4 million.
Seriously?
Yeah.
I'd be doing
and they're like
breakfast and a pack of cigarettes.
All right, well, hang on. We're gonna call 3 other actors.
No, they did not. We're gonna see if we can get them cheaper.
I'm just guessing.
Yeah.
We're gonna call 3 other actors and see if they're available, and if they're not, we'll come back to you. Now they first wanted Tom Cruise because, of course, in 1993 your first call is going to be Tom Cruise. He said no. Christian Slater turned it down after that.
I could see that though, but then wouldn't he be making True Romance at the time anyway?
Yeah.
At that point.
Yeah, so that they only list 2 actors who turned it down, but he was very far down the list of the people he wanted.
See, I'm thinking like, this would have been easier to cast and cheaper had they not had Emilio and Cuba Gooding Jr. Like, get somebody like Craig Sheffer,
Known box office draw, Craig Sheffer.
or pre-McDreamy, Patrick Dempsey, who's probably looking for work at that point, because let's face it, Can't Buy Me Love was the last movie he made. Oh, no, I'm sorry, it was the
garbage movie.
The Rent Boy movie that he did. Lover Boy.
Lover.
Where he delivers pizzas and delivers the spice, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Do that. Like that. I'm sure they weren't busy. Emilio, don't do movies like this. Let's go back in time and stop you from making this movie.
This is the end for him. Truly, like in terms of a lead actor, like this is it. Like he doesn't have much of a career after this, because within 2 years of making this, he's making an appearance in Jerky Boys the movie.
Oh.
Then he's dead in the first 10 minutes of Mission Impossible.
Oh.
And that's it. Yeah.
Oh, honey.
Yeah.
That makes me sad.
Everything you know him for is before this. Stakeout 2.
Stakeout 2, Electric Boogaloo.
We skipped that
3.
earlier. We should have watched that this year.
Oh, yeah, we should have.
We totally skipped another Stakeout.
Another Stakeout, which actually would have been probably kind of funny.
Yeah, he'd done The Young Guns and Young Guns 2 and Men at Work, Free Jack, Mighty Ducks, and Loaded Weapon all before he did this movie.
Fuck Free Jack, that's all I'm saying. I hate that movie so much. Well, I think back of, like, Wisdom. Do you remember Wisdom?
No.
Him and Demi Moore. You don't remember Wisdom?
I remember Maximum Overdrive. Stephen King was on so much cocaine while making Maximum Overdrive.
Did he say this?
He doesn't remember making the movie, and he directed it. He directed it.
Oh my god.
Stephen King directed Maximum
He directed Maximum Overdrive.
Holy shit.
Based off of his own work.
Wait, so, like, for him and Mick, like that. Nose candy?
I don't know if Emilio Estevez was on any coke. Mick Jagger wasn't in Maximum Overdrive.
Oh, no, he's in Free Jack.
He's in Free Jack.
Does it matter, though? Because I'm sorry.
There's a scene in Maximum Overdrive where a guy goes to get a can of Coke, and by this time, a comet has flown over the Earth and turned all of the machines into sentient beings that are killing humans. So he's going to get this Coke, and he puts in his money and won't give it to him, so he starts hitting it, and then it fires a can of Coke right into his balls. Like a fucking shotgun blast, and then puts one right in his fucking forehead. Just...
Oh my God. I hate it. I hate it.
No.
Yeah.
You like all my emojis?
They've got this unlicensed green goblin that they put on the front of a semi-truck, and that's the bad guy of the movie.
I used to have nightmares about that truck, though. Here, Fuzzy, I'll just show you a picture. Since we're off on a tangent.
This is a real movie. This is real.
It's a real movie.
It was made by what Nathan Rabin has called a sentient bag of cocaine.
That is so awesome. See, I mean,
I would. I think I would enjoy movies made by people on max amounts of cocaine. They feel like they'd be nuts.
Well, don't you? I mean, look at them. Even the semi itself was on blow. Good God.
The best death of the movie is like they think that she's a waitress, and she's like they're all trapped inside of this truck stop, and all these trucks have now come to life and are circling the truck stop. And she's had enough. She just runs out the front door and goes, "We made you! We made you!"
Oh my God.
And then they run her over.
Oh.
Yeah. I saw that coming.
God.
That's enough about
so
Maximum Overdrive.
So much cocaine. Of course, at that time, what was that, 86? Maximum Overdrive?
Something like that.
So, like, that would be the height of, like, disco.
Cocaine culture. Disco was dead by then.
No. the disco was still open though. You could still go dancing.
It was called the discotheque then.
Discotheque. It's white people dancing. That's all it is. Wow, that's enough.
Yeah, so Emilio, this is his last
This bums me out
stand.
because although I have to say
He got his $4 million and he's like, peace out.
yeah. But I was also going to say in this movie though, he looks kind of dead behind the eyes, doesn't he?
Oh, yeah.
And that bummed me out too. Like maybe he was just getting tired of this shit.
And he wanted to go back to being a director like on Wisdom.
Oh, Wisdom.
Which he did. He goes on to be a director in the future.
Oh,
So
like
good
for
for him.
TV shows or for films?
He did a couple films. They're not very good.
Oh. Did he put his dad in one of them?
One of them, yeah.
Yeah, I figured that happened.
Yeah.
He could make like
His dad is
Hallmark
Martin
movies.
Sheen.
Martin Sheen.
And his brother is Charlie.
Carlos.
Is there another Sheen?
I'm sure.
There's a Sheen who's always in your movies.
It's Michael Sheen.
No.
He's not related.
No.
He's from Wales.
No, Joe.
Joe.
Joe Estevez.
Joe Estevez.
Yeah.
Yes. He's not
Martin
a Sheen. He's definitely
Martin Sheen's brother.
That's right. And Joe. Oh, Joe.
Joe was in Soul Taker.
He was in Soul Taker. Don't forget he was in Werewolf. Werewolf.
So there was this weird trend,
I'm gonna show you a picture.
as
of
I
Joe.
turned to MJ again. There's this weird trend where like everybody in the 80s had a brother who was also in movies.
But they were like the Wish.com version of that.
It's like Patrick Swayze's like much uglier brother.
And Patrick, yeah, exactly. It's like if you
Frank Stallone.
It's like meeting a celebrity at the mall just so they can go and sign autographs for their siblings.
Hank's his brother. Hanks has a brother.
He does actually sounds just like him.
He does the voice of Woody now.
Oh my god, that's so funny.
Because Tom's not going to do it for a commercial, but we can get Tom's brother.
I'm gonna do like a side by side for Fuzzy here, so you can kind of get like an idea of what I'm talking about.
Get me Steven Spielberg. Get me Steven Spielberg's Mexican non-union equivalent. Everything comes back to The Simpsons for me.
Oh my god. Oh, he was in 2016's Fangs and Spurs.
Who was?
Joe Estevez.
Oh, Joe.
Okay, see what I'm talking about? Like he's like the drunk version of Martin Sheen. It's so weird because like Charlie and Emilio, brothers, both actors, both did really important films. Sorry, Charlie. Carlos.
What was Patrick Swayze's brother's name?
I'll show you. Wish.com, Patrick Swayze. Or no, it's Timu now. I'm sorry, it's Timu now.
Patrick Swayze's like this gorgeous dancer's body, like just the handsomest man in the world.
He is.
And somehow this guy is his brother.
But you think you dream of Patrick Swayze, but you wake up and you realize, like, no, I think that was actually his brother that was in there. Here. Don Swayze.
Don.
Oh God, Don. No. Let's do a side by side comparison, if we may.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. See, but like you've got Patrick, who's hot. Look at they're using a picture of Patrick as Don there. That's weird. My God. Yeah. See, we've got Patrick Swayze at home. Isn't that weird? So that was like a phenomenon.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
To the point where I think Frank Stallone, Don Swayze, and like Travolta's brother maybe,
Yeah,
or
probably.
if Travolta had a brother, like I think they all appeared in a movie together.
It's Tom Cruise's brother who has a different last name from him. Tom Cruise brother.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, see him. Oh yeah, he's just.
He's again like looks nothing like Tom. Like Tom is like this perfectly chiseled face, and then you've got his brother
William Mapother. That's Tom Cruise's bro. Yeah, we kind of need you back in the game here, if you don't mind.
Oh,
Tom
Cruise's brother.
okay.
Yeah.
And it's like you can kind of see it.
You can kind of see it, but you're really gonna buy his DVD out of the dollar bin. William. Is it Mapother?
Wouldn't Judgment Night be great if they made it with everybody's brother instead?
Oh, I would love that fucking movie. Actually, I'm pretty sure that
we've got Burt Leary, we've got Andre Gooding, we've got.
I'm positive that there was an MST Like they actually thought about that. Like just all the brothers.
Frank, Don, and Joe are all in a movie together.
Exactly. Ow. Sorry. Yes. I would pay $5 to see that movie.
$5.
I would invest $15 to have it made.
And you would turn it off in under 10 minutes.
By the way, that's the other thing we forgot to mention in this movie is that it never was going to end. Like every time we thought time had passed.
Be like, how much longer is left? 55 minutes. How much longer is left? 50 minutes.
This movie's been on for 3 hours.
So much.
And it's an hour and 45-minute movie.
It wouldn't end. It just kept going and going. But you know what? Let's all take a.
It's an extended chase scene. So the movie is just this chase where like they're running from Denis Leary and his group of bad guys, including Everlast.
Right. Everlast.
And the bad guy from The Mask.
Yeah. Oh, right.
The Jim Carrey mask.
Yeah, that's right. I thought he looked like Cillian Murphy.
He's a well-known actor. I don't remember his name.
He's a character actor, you know?
Name escapes me, though.
Judgment.
Whatever his name is. Oh, Sykes. Peter Green.
Peter Green.
Good. He's one of those that guy faces. You know?
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Not to be confused with the ex-Fleetwood Mac head Peter Green.
Same guy.
Because he's dead.
Those are the same guy.
It's totally the same guy.
They're the Everlast.
Yeah. Everlast. I'm like, no, that's the dude from House of Pain. So Everlast? Yeah, it's Everlast.
Literal dialogue between Amy and I in the movie. No, it's the guy from House of Pain.
Right. So Everlast then? Correct. Okay, I'm just gonna put this out there because I don't think I have pointed this out enough. Soundtrack still slaps.
Oh my god.
It does! I'm telling you! And actually,
you've been telling us about this soundtrack, and we have not heard any of it.
Every time, and it's like, no, it faded.
You guys suck. If you guys would just open your ears and open your hearts, you would have heard some of these tracks.
We can't open our hearts to a movie this bad.
Why? The soundtrack is awesome. And actually, this was one of the first times where you took like rockers and not just like just regular rock and roll, but like indie artists, and you collabed them with awesome hip hop artists. I mean, it was just kind of an unprecedented move, and it was really fucking cool. Now, if they could have done that with a better movie, you know what I mean? Just with a better movie. I don't know.
Progressive metal band Tool and rock rap group Rage Against the Machine recorded songs for this soundtrack. And they hated them so much they ended up scrapping them, and they were never heard from.
Aww. You know, though, you still had Mudhoney and Sir Mix-a-Lot together, though. That was pretty fucking cool. That was pretty bad.
Run down this amazing soundtrack.
You know what?
For us,
Thank you for finally asking me to do that. So we got Helmet and House of Pain. Teenage Fan Club and De La
Everlast
Soul.
is on the soundtrack and in the movie?
Duh, that's how he got it. That's how he was able to work on the album. No one really wanted to work with House of Pain, but whatever. Living Color and Run DMC, fucking awesome. Biohazard and Onyx, Slayer and Ice-T, Faith No More and Booyah Tribe, Sonic Youth and Cypress Hill, Mudhoney and Sir Mix-a-Lot, Dinosaur Jr. and Del the Funky Homo Sapien, fuck yeah, Therapy and Fatal and Pearl Jam and Cypress Hill. Boom, baby! And you didn't even get to hear most of those. So.
But what was the single? Was there a single?
It was the main one, Fallon, with the De La Soul and Teenage Fan Club. So, and it wasn't even played on the radio. So like, I mean, these are some deep cuts. But fuck yeah, God, I love the soundtrack. Like, I'm literally gonna put this in my car tomorrow. I've missed this disc so much. But now
and you never want to forget the experience of watching
the movie. Yeah, absolutely, because I didn't get to hear any of these fucking songs.
So they're on the run. Denis Leary's chasing them. They end up running into the sewer. They get rid of one guy, and they're running again.
I love the sewer scene.
It gets so wet.
So
soggy.
It's very soggy
movie.
Soggy jeans.
Yep.
And sewer smell.
You know
they
that
need to bring back smell-o-vision for this movie.
I agree. You could smell like the rust in the blood.
Oh,
bloody cuts over
so
rust.
much tetanus.
So much tetanus. So much tetanus. God, it's just like swimming in the
I feel
Mississippi
like I
River.
got tetanus from the movie.
You have to go have multiple shots after the show.
That's rabies,
what happened?
you idiots.
What happened? I watched Judgment Day.
Oh, no. No.
Not another Judgment Day related injury. Damn it.
You look a little
They need to
bit
ban
peaked.
that movie already.
Oh, my God. Damn.
The movie's covered in rust.
But you know bros liked it, though. You know bros were all about this movie.
Well, to the point where this movie got a 25th anniversary screening in Chicago.
It did?
Yeah. When it turned 25. They held a screening of it and had the director come. This is a beloved cult classic.
No. I think that they played one theater in Joliet, and that was it. Wow.
Yeah, why this
Why?
movie? Why?
And I want to know, did everyone go to it? Like the entire town that was missing from Chicago went to see the 25th
The entire
anniversary?
empty portion of Chicago. They all turned out en masse.
The bus driver, she showed up right inside an autographs. You had the best line in there. I don't think so.
Yeah, good for her.
Good for her.
Don't stop in that neighborhood if you don't have to.
But see, I still felt bad because I still wanted Emilio to survive. He was the only one that was, every one of them was being a pussy.
Stephen Dorff's arc is being a pussy.
He's
Cuba
like
Gooding
angry.
Jr.'s arc is just I'm an asshole. I have to prove that I'm the most macho guy.
That's true.
Jeremy Piven was just a coward.
Yeah.
Who ends up getting thrown off of a roof in the most cathartic moment of the movie.
I do know. And it's like, none of us gave a shit.
No.
And
here's his big heroic sacrifice. And
then you have...
it's not heroic, though. Like, he's being such a total wuss. Like, he's just, like... He's not even trying to be heroic and save his friends.
No.
Not really.
No, he's trying to save his own ass.
If he were heroic, he'd be like, you guys go. I'm going to try and pay him off and,
right.
Run. Guys, you leave. I'll take care of this. You guys go. No, he wanted them to wait for him. He wanted his friends to fucking wait for him.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. And beyond that, it's like when Cuba Gooding Jr., his character Mike, when he's like, afterwards, he's like, he didn't have to die like that, man. It's like, we don't care. Don't bring it back on our account.
Prick from the beginning to the end.
Exactly.
Like we don't give a fuck about any of these characters, honestly. Because like Emilio Estevez is just barely there. Like he is so checked out throughout the entire movie. He's like, just did that $4 million check cash? All right. Like that's all he gives a fuck about.
I got my paper, so I can go.
He's a total non-entity. Stephen Dorff is on the verge of tears because that's just his style of acting.
I was gonna say,
I think he just pinches himself before everything, like just so enough to make his eyes water in every scene.
There were so many moments with him that I'm like, I don't buy that you're an actor at all. The only reason I ever liked Stephen Dorff was because he was good friends with Michael Stipe, and I'm like, oh, that's cool. You know, he's an actor, he's an indie actor, and then it's like I'm watching this going, you suck. You're not good at this.
What I prefer his work in Dorff on Golf.
Oh, remember Dorff on Golf?
Stephen Dorff on Golf.
Somebody has had to have made that a thing. Come on, I'm typing that in right now.
Oh, that isn't a mashup.
That's
waiting to happen.
Fucking brilliant is what that is.
He quit. He had to quit playing golf.
Oh.
If he ever did, he just like after he saw that there was a Dorff on Golf, it's like fuck. All my friends are just gonna make that joke.
God damn it.
Now, for those who don't know the joke, because you're under 50, there was a comedy. It was very funny.
Yes.
A guy got down on his knees and pretended to be a little person and
Aww.
played poorly at golf.
Right.
And that's the joke.
And he used to make videos called Dorff on Golf.
Multiple videos.
Oh, it was Tim Conway.
That everybody bought for their grandfather.
Oh.
Every granddad just would have like
That's true. They're like,
3 copies of Dorff on Golf.
Love me that Dorff on Golf.
Okay, we got him a tie. We got him a vest and Dorff on Golf. Merry Christmas.
See, the joke
rhymes with dwarf.
Dwarf, exactly.
The joke.
That's the joke. That's the joke. God bless. Oh, I forgot Vincent Schiavelli was part of that.
Oh, was he?
Another great character actor.
Oh.
Yeah. Because there was the video in 1987 that came out, Dorff on Golf.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Is he like the guy that like has to try and keep up with Dorff when Dorff is doing all of his antics?
antics.
His shenanigans.
He's up
He's getting
to
up
those
into his
shenanigans.
golfing shenanigans.
1 shenanigan and 2 tomfooleries. Please. Wow.
But no jokes.
No jokes. We're not going to make this funny.
We've already got ableism, guys. That's the only joke we need.
We keep the wacky and the zany in the closet for this one. 1 shenanigan.
Yeah, that's right. I'm canceling Dorff on golf, okay? Yeah, I did.
Oh my god.
It's done.
I've
Sorry.
been waiting so long for this to happen. We finally canceled something from 1987. It's happened. God damn it.
Dorff on.
It's a real thing. If you wouldn't have gone to the bathroom.
What is that?
We were talking about Stephen Dorff, the actor who's in Judgment Day.
Which led to a
Right.
conversation about Dorff on golf.
Where he put Stephen Dorff on golf all in one thing, like a mashup.
Yeah.
And then
Your great-grandparents all had Dorff on golf videos.
they did. Yeah. VHS.
The comedy
not
is that a
DVD.
little person plays golf.
Yeah.
Badly.
Yeah.
And
See?
I think he gives lessons.
He does. He does.
No.
To Vincent Schiavelli. IMDb gives Dorff on golf 6.9 out of 10. That's high praise, IMDb. They probably love Judgment Night. Let's put that one in here.
Oh, no.
Yeah, anyway, can we get to the superstores, please?
So they come out of the sewer and they're still being chased by Denis Leary and his goons, the ones that are left, him and Everlast. Because he killed the other goon, I guess.
The other goons.
He's Goon 1. That's his.
Oh, was that how he's credited?
I think he's Goon 1.
I've always wanted to be lady number 3. Goons. Yeah. Okay.
They get chased into what we thought was a warehouse.
It's fucking not a warehouse. It's a grocery store first.
But
Grocery
also
store, and then
antiques,
It was antiques. It was sporting goods.
sporting
Sporting
goods,
goods.
bikes.
There was
Lots
a
of
whole
bikes.
wind chime section, which cannot be described to anyone.
Honestly,
a lot of glass.
There was
So
a
much
deli in the
glass.
basement,
There was a
like with
deli.
sit-down seats.
Right, absolutely. There's a carnival upstairs. There's a shoe store, Carnival Shoe Store, an Old Navy, a Forever 21. They were all in the same
I
building.
think there was a Subway.
There was a Subway somewhere in there. My God, there was a
Every
bait shop.
every
A maid
step
shop
they
and ceiling
took,
fan emporium.
they were
That's
just in a
right.
different part of this bizarre store. Like the 1 minute you're walking past lettuce, and then suddenly there's bicycles. Then there's a whole display of empty old style boxes.
But that's the thing, is like the way when they went in there, it looked post-apocalyptic. There was no one
There's
fucking
no one
there.
around, yeah.
And then I just kept saying, I'm like, okay, guys, there are fresh peaches over there. And some severely, like, really green lettuce. Like,
This
you
has
know,
literally just
And
been put
fresh
out.
melons.
and fresh melons. And then all of a sudden, we have an employee who comes out with a big old vat of beer.
Yeah.
And it's like, where were you? And he's got his headphones on.
Can't hear a thing. He's being shot at multiple times.
Multiple times. He can't sing to save his life either. That was really upsetting. But
I'm sorry, but there's no way that the headphones that we had in the 90s were blocking out that kind of sound
we
that way.
never had that kind of sound blockage. We could hear people whispering when we were listening to Metallica on full blast. So, I mean, come on.
Yeah, the
It's a bunch of
Walkman did
bullshit.
not have that kind of sound
No.
balance. I'm sorry.
No.
You'd hear gunshots.
I don't think they even have that technology today. You still hear gunshots even with noise canceling headphones.
Where do we live? Where are you guys hearing all these gunshots? What the fuck? I walk outside and I hear birds chirping.
That reminds me of like the washing machine ad, or the washing machine, like the soap ads from back in the day, where they always had blood in it, and you're like, why are you all so bloody all the time?
There's so much blood.
Shout out Richard Jenny. I think that
Oh
was
my-
his joke.
Oh my God.
I don't steal jokes on this show. I give full credit. Richard Jenny, 1989.
Oh, yeah.
Why are you all so bloody all the time?
So bloody. My God.
If it wasn't Richard Jenny, I apologize to whoever wrote that.
It was one of you guys
It was
at the
one.
improv.
It was one of you
doesn't
white
matter.
guys with a suit
Yeah.
jacket and
It could be
jeans.
Richard Lewis. it could be Kevin Meaney. We don't just throwing out names here.
It was right before their airline food bit.
That's right.
Airline food, which you can get on the 7th floor of the superstore we're in here.
Observational humor, anyone? Women be like.
What do they be like?
Women be like, take out the garbage. Men be like, you are the garbage.
No.
Oh, that's mean. You said that to your wife, you dick.
Welcome to our Alpha podcast.
Finally.
The least alpha people.
Oh my god. I'm a proud beta.
I literally just canceled Dorff on golf.
What's lower than beta, you guys?
Oh god, I don't want to think about that because
Should
that
we-
just gets into fan fiction.
Oh,
dude.
no. We're going to talk about dominance and submissives next.
So
We're not doing that.
no.
At least not on this podcast. Now, when I start my own.
Talking about your own random stuff.
Exactly. I'm going to have a full MySpace presence and everything with mine. You wait. Yeah. Were we talking about Judgment Night?
Were we?
Yeah, the movie is
Yeah,
called
so
Judgment Night.
the multi-level superstore that
Yeah.
they kept fighting in. And what my favorite part of that was every time the camera turned, they were in a different section of a different store. But it was when they started fighting where they got knocked into those wind chimes. Because I didn't believe him, like, wind chimes? There's a whole fucking wall of wind chimes.
How many people in Chicago are buying wind chimes?
Just that one, it's like, well, you guys, we had a real run on wind chimes this week. They do call us
All right,
the Windy
look,
City.
We need a full wall of wind
Who's
chimes.
going to merchandise that? Let's get Teddy from accounting. You're good with wind chimes, aren't you? And
They
they're
hire
so...
a wind chime specialist.
Oh my god.
They call me the wind chime specialist. I know every sound.
Oh, I found the other actors who they wanted ahead of Emilio.
Oh,
So it was
boy.
Tom Cruise, it was
Yeah.
Christian Slater.
yeah.
They passed. They went to John Travolta,
They did?
and they wanted Kevin Spacey as the bad guy. That went to be Denis Leary.
Oddly enough, then Denis Leary goes on to do the ref with Kevin Spacey. Yeah.
Then they wanted Ray Liotta.
Oh, Ray Liotta wouldn't do this movie.
Yeah,
He's beyond that kind of shit.
That's what they wanted. They wanted Ray Liotta.
Instead, they got Emilio Estevez. Oh.
Maybe they should have offered Ray Liotta $4 million.
Oh, yeah, but that's assuming that he wasn't going to be making better movies at that. So,
Shock of shocks! This movie went direct to video in UK.
no. You know, they should have done like stunt casting and put Joe Pesci as the lead of this movie. Could you imagine? He just had a baby with a young wife. You know what I mean?
These
Like
two Utes keep firing guns at us.
but take all the heads and put it in a duffel bag.
Are you ready for this?
Yeah, I'm ready for this.
The film is considered to be a loose remake or updated version of Deliverance.
Shut up. No, it's not. You know how I know it's not? Because I just watched this movie.
Because there are more people in Deliverance
Oh my god.
than there is in downtown Chicago in this movie.
Wow. How dare they say that?
I don't know. That's
And
what
no
it
one
says.
actually got to squeal like a pig in this movie.
No, that would have been an exciting scene. That
Jeremy
would-
Piven's character? Squeal like a pig.
Oh my god.
That'd be fucking brilliant.
Wow.
Brilliant.
How irritating would he be in that scene?
It's a whole movie of just that. And just getting anally raped by some hillbillies in Chicago in a superstore under wind chimes.
They're
That's my new movie.
Oh, wow.
That's my new movie.
Oh god.
God, Jesus.
Amy is canceled.
If you haven't listened to this podcast before, I've been canceled for almost a year now. I'm not going to stop now. You know who we're missing in this movie?
What's
Jurgen Proch now.
Yeah, he would have been nice.
Jurgen.
Yeah, he would have made it better.
A
Could've
better villain.
Him as the Leary character.
Yeah.
I could see that.
He's out of their price range.
God.
Yeah.
You know, so it's weird because we just did we did back-to-back Learys. Because he was in
Demolition Man sucked.
And then he was in this movie.
It sucked.
And he got to do things that he had written for his own comedy in both of these movies.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I forgot how irritating that was. And I loved Denis Leary. Like, I loved him until I realized how much he'd ripped off of Bill Hicks. How much. And there was just so much of it. And I'm sorry, I have one tattoo. It's on my back. It's Bill Hicks. And that man I stand for the rest of my life. So.
Yeah, Denis Leary he's got a hit song on top of being a comedian.
Oh, asshole though! That was a fucking funny song.
The song is called Asshole because and the whole thing is his I'm an asshole, oleo, oleo, oleo. I'm an asshole. He's the world's biggest asshole.
Well, he did it. His big stand up was No Cure for Cancer.
Yeah,
and it was like one of those that was really kind of biting and different, but again, a lot of it lifted from Hicks.
Yeah.
So.
But a lot of the jokes were like, I'm not allowed to say this. I'm going to hell for this bit. Oh!
You can't make that film today. That's the equivalent of that. You know what I mean?
And it's like, no, literally, he did say that, though. So it's it's okay. He did actually do it.
He actually did it.
Like, you can't sit here and say I'm censoring him. It's literally the thing he's most famous for.
Exactly.
It's still fully available wherever you want it.
See, again, in our 20s, we loved it. What was wrong with us in our 20s?
We also used to like Dennis Miller, so.
Oh, R.I.P. I mean, I know he's not dead, but still, you're dead to me. Well be. So. Oh, how do we get off on this area?
It always ends up here.
Hey, you're right. That's true. Anyway,
final thoughts on Judgment Day?
Yeah.
Night? Judgment
night.
Judgment
Day. Judgment afternoon.
Judgment afternoon.
Judgment after dark.
Dog Day, Judgment afternoon.
I love that. Stephen Hopkins, did he ever make another movie after this?
He made a bunch of movies.
Were they shitty?
They're not. He's not a bad director. I don't even think this is a badly directed movie.
Okay.
I just think it's just not a good idea to try and make us believe that Chicago is completely empty.
It's just, like, if you've ever been to Chicago, you would know that this was filmed on a lot somewhere where they didn't have to hire any extras because this was ridiculous.
He was the director of Highlander.
There can be only one?
There can be only one.
Okay.
He directed Nightmare on Elm Street 5, The Dream Child.
I am one of the only people that loves that movie.
Isn't that a great one?
I fucking love that movie.
Dream Child.
It's actually a great one.
Yeah.
So.
Then he directed Predator 2, which is actually better than the original Predator.
Is it?
Danny Glover's Predator.
If you put Danny Glover in front of anything,
but then
Danny Glover's hamburger.
He follows this movie up with Blown Away.
Oh, my Jeffy! That movie's so fucking
Jeff Bridges,
good.
Tommy Lee Jones,
Lloyd
Bridges.
Bridges. It's a classic.
Not as funny as in Hot Shots.
Definitely not. There's one special scene in that where you're going to be like, oh, that sucks. But man, let me tell you that the title of that movie, it's no joke. There's lots of things getting blown away.
He did Ghost in the Darkness after that. But then he ended his career. He did keep working after this, but really the end of his career was Lost in Space.
Isn't that kind of appropriate, though? Because fuck that movie.
Oh, that's terrible. Unwatchable. Matt LeBlanc from Friends.
Joey.
In Lost in Space.
But they thought that they would take the premise of, and that was really popular at the time too, to let's make movies about old TV shows from the 50s and 60s kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a giant misstep.
Oh, huge.
Giant
it was
misstep.
So bad.
Yeah.
It was such a terrible movie.
My God.
Oh, it's just unwatchable.
It is unwatchable. It absolutely is unwatchable.
MJ, do you have a recommendation for Judgment Night?
So you don't recommend it, or you do?
No, I don't recommend it.
How are you feeling about the 90s these days?
I don't recommend them.
That's great.
I assure you the music was good.
It's really all we had.
And the parody movies.
Yeah.
The music and the parody movies.
Yep. I mean, especially early 90s, because, man, once you get to the late 90s, just fuck them because they're not good. I mean, we've talked about that before.
So, Next week,
What's our choice?
there's only one movie that came out next week.
Okay.
So I was going to make an executive order to make a change.
I don't want to hear that.
Oh boy.
Okay, fine. We'll watch Rudy then.
No.
then listen to my idea.
Out of inspirational speeches, that one was half a Rudy. All right. So what was the other one?
My idea, because that's the only movie that comes out next week. We pull forward. We pull from the future.
Okay.
Back to next week. Fatal Instinct with Armando Sante, which is a parody of
movie.
Basic Instinct.
Yeah.
It's the final parody movie of the year.
Okay.
I think we should.
And if we do that, then that means that on October 29th, just before Halloween, it's The Nightmare Before Christmas.
Oh my gosh, I forgot that came out in 93. Why did I think that was later?
I don't know.
All right.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. Yeah,
All right, let's do that.
stick with
Next week will be Fatal Instinct because we don't want to watch Rudy. Fuck Rudy.
Fuck Rudy.
Um,
God, I love our show.
And
It's
then,
so family friendly.
and then it'll be The Nightmare Before Christmas.
Perfect.
How's the Facebook page?
Looking good.
How's the Tumblr?
It's looking for me to make a page. No, I just posted last week's Demolition Man, as well as Sean's review over on our Facebook page.
Yeah.
So you can check that out. And then, of course, this that you're listening to right now, we did last week, but that'll be on next week.
Something
You're
like
welcome.
that.
Yes.
It's
That's a lot of words.
You're welcome.
it's the mystery of the internet. What's
And also, don't forget to check out my tree outside where I post daily.
it?
Sad, except tree's gone now.
Wait, the tree's gone?
That one.
That one.
Yeah.
Oh, right. I thought it was that one out there.
No, it was that one out there.
Oh.
Imagine, if you
I
would,
was looking at the
listeners,
wrong
that
tree.
there was a tree to our right. That's what
Wait.
we're pointing at.
Then what have they been posting out on that tree?
I think that is actually Andy's tree.
Oh, no.
My cat has his own Facebook and Tumblr. Yeah, we only do it with trees. Anyway, yeah, we'll see you next week. We love you. Bye.
Wait, who's our sponsor?
Oh, this podcast was brought to you by the Pontiac Fiero. If depression were a car, the Pontiac Fiero. Ferrero. Guy Fieri. Geraldine Ferraro. I love you.
People would like the video podcast.
Yes, you can send a self-addressed stamped envelope to 6969 Pueblo, Colorado 6966969-69.
You will need a region-free VHS.
Because we do everything with PAL here, so good luck.